Hi guys, so I have another little pin craft, postcard pin craft for us. It's the little Winnie the Pooh one. I loved these postcards when I found them at box lunch. I love stamps and the hand canceling. I think just because obviously I like making cards and sending mail. And so I have a whole thing about stamps, and obviously because I'm the fabulous stamper, but there's a whole thing about postcards and mail and all that kind of stuff that just makes me so excited. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about our pieces of paper. So I went ahead and I used this stamp die, which is available at fabulousstamper.com. And they're called the perennial postage dies, and you can still pick them up at fabulousstamper.com. They're current. And I used this square one here. I think it's like 1 3/4 inch or something like that. And it's like the perfect little stamp. And we're going to be using this. We need a piece of paper, and we're going to stamp on it. And I also cut out another piece of paper from the fruit salad paper that I used on some cards a few weeks ago, and it's all this fruit paper. Now I don't sell retired paper, but it has all this great fruit paper, and the piece that we're using is the pear one, but I love the yellow on the other side. And so technically it's supposed to be like the seeds of a pear, but I like the pattern, so I went ahead and went with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our Daffodil Delight here, and then we're going to take crushed curry, but I think I'm going to stamp off. I need another block. So the stamp we're using, this stamp here is from a paper pumpkin kit. And of course I don't have it handy to be able to tell you the name. It had daisies in it, and it was just from 2026 here. I think it was from maybe like February or March. February, I think. And it had these great little daisies in it. So let's stamp it twice. I want to try out something. So we stamped that, and that's crushed curry. And then there's the lighter. I'm going to try the back side with the lighter, because you can always, this is the back side, so I can just test it out and see if I like the dark or if I like the light. This is just the back side of the cardstock. Let me try that in the corner again, just to see. I think it's a little too light. I think we need to go with the full ink. I just had to check. Oh, I got some other ink on it, but it's okay. We'll cover that up with some honey beehives here. And I'm just stamped crushed curry ink onto my stamp. It doesn't have to be perfect, because some of it also gets covered up by the postcard a little bit too. So that is our basic stamp of that. Now the other stamp we're going to be using in a minute is from 2026 as well. It's an actual stamp from, hand cancel stamp from the February kit. So it came out in January 2026, and it had these roses and these these little stamped shapes and everything. It was like the perfect little, Valentine-y set, in my opinion. So, okay, so let's go ahead and let's glue our pieces down before we do some more stamping. So this is a 4x4 of crushed curry. This is a Daffodil Delight, this yellow that we were practicing on. And then this is from the fruit salad. So I want to glue these down. I'm going to go ahead and glue this in the corner. And this piece here is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 of crushed curry. Not crushed curry. This is, I think this is a pecan pie. I don't think it's Cajun craze. I think this is pecan pie. No, this is pecan pie. This is Cajun craze. What is this? No, this is Pebble Path. I think this is Pebble Path. Let's see. I want to say that's like a Pebble Path color. Let's Let me grab. Is that it? Yeah, it's Pebble Path or Copper Clay. Copper Clay, that's it. It's Copper Clay. It's a retired color from a few years ago. But again, any of the browns that are in this postcard will work. I think this was a scrap that I happened to have, and so I was using up my scrap. I can't remember when I made the first one. Okay, so there we go. And then we're gonna glue this down in the center of our crushed curry. So crushed curry, and then this one was Daffodil Delight, but I used the crushed curry ink because I needed a honey color. And again, any color that's close to what you need is enough. It'll be fine. So now to our last bit of stamping, I'm taking the early Espresso ink. I wanted something that was dark enough to stamp on here. So I made sure to choose the early Espresso ink. Oh no, I don't want to stamp in the corner here. I want to stamp up in the top. That's right, because I want the honey down there. So I'm going to stamp a little bit out to the corner out here. And that way it cancels across this little stamp. It looks basically black. It's not black. It'll dry a little bit brown. It's hard to tell right now, but it will dry brown. So now the other thing we need to do is we need to glue. I cut these honey pots from the Sweet Old Friends dies, and this is from the Silly Old Bear Winnie the Pooh set that we have. These are the dies that go with the paper that also go with the stamps. This is the honey, this is one of the pots, and here's another pot. So I just use a variety of different browns. So this is Pecan Pie, this is Early Espresso, and this one here is Crumb Cake. And all I did was I'm going to glue some of the honey drips on them. I'm deciding, do I want, yeah, this one's already glued. So do I want the tan? Yeah, let's go with the tan, large tan one. Just to have a little variety. And you just glue the little glue piece. You don't need a ton. Oh, that's too much glue. I had to wipe some of the glue off on like a piece of paper. That was too much glue. You just kind of line it up on the top of the jar. I cut a bunch of them in case some of them got messed up. It's always good to have extra when you're working with little tiny pieces like this, because sometimes it can get a little messy. And let me take another little glue drip and glue that one to the Espresso one. And any browns will do. I just wanted to have different colors of brown so that it wasn't totally monotonous or monochromatic. Like this one has all the same color brown for the honey pots, and I thought that was kind of boring. I thought having a little variety was better and made it just a better composition. Right? Let's glue this down. Come on, glue it down. All right, so let's go ahead and move these aside so they don't get lost. So we've got our 3 little honey pots. And dimensionals. We need dimensionals. We're just going to pop a dimensional on each one. I actually think I'm going to put my bear down first and then do the honey pots. I don't know why, but I feel like I should. So let's see if we can at least get it centered. Wow. That's the second time I've gotten it centered so easily. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was centered and on, and so we'll get that all glued down. Just didn't want to have any glue on it yet. Come on. Peeling all these extra little pieces off. Oh, a piece of paper got stuck to that one. Like the back side flipped over. There we go. It flipped over and got stuck to it because all right, good. At least it's centered. Now let's make sure it's straight before we press it completely down. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put, I want one up, one down, and one to the side. I think I want this one down to the side over here. Yeah, and all with dimensionals. I know these ones I want dimensionals on. I can't remember if I put a dimensional on that one. Just love how these turned out. These have been my favorite craft in a long time. Sometimes you get so focused on making things, you know, to sell, you kind of forget the fun, you know, because you want to make sure things sell. Oh, I forgot the glitter. Hold on. We'll add that in a moment. And we'll go ahead and we'll put this one here. Like that. Oh, is this gonna come up on me? I think it's not. Yeah, it's not gluing on. We gotta add more glue. This was one that I think was glued before we sat down, but I don't think it was glued well. There we go. My cat's waiting for me to finish because he wants a snack. All right, and then this one I want right here, but just kind of laying to the side. So did I want it under? No, I want it up on dimensionals too. It's just up to the side. I'm gonna move this one over a little. I want them overlapping just a tiny bit. And this one to the side like that. That's good. And this is called Winkastella. It's a glittery type brush that I'll zoom in so you can see, but it's an iridescent glitter, but when you add it to cardstock, it adds this tiniest little shimmer. I should have done this before I glued everything down, but it's okay. It's on here now. So cute. I love how these turned out. There we go. And obviously honey needs a little glitter. So cute. And we're gonna go ahead and add a couple little gems here. Just three. Couple of dots. I just thought would be fun. And let me put one more here. Just three. Just to add a little extra something to that corner. Then we're gonna take our frame. I got this frame at Amazon, fabulousstamper.com. You can buy it, fabulousstamper.com, and click on my Amazon storefront. And it's a good, good frames. They're nice wooden frames. I like that the quality of the frames is nice, but yet the price point is still fair, especially them being wooden and not plastic. I didn't want a plastic frame, I liked that it was wooden. Okay, so let's get that centered. Let's flip that over. And I just cut out some cardstock. And let's see. You want the cardstock to be about the same width as your frame because you don't want too much bending from, yeah, I think this might not work to have that there, but let's see. We need to cover up the pin, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stay. Oh, it is staying in place, okay. So you wanna make sure, I rushed that, I'm sorry, I'm rushing now because of the cat. You wanna make sure your cardstock covers the edge, not all the way to the edge because you still gotta get this piece in, but you wanna make sure it's not gonna make your cardstock bow and fold in the front where it'll look like a little pillow popping out. And you don't want that look. You want it to be secure, but you don't want it to be bowing. And this extra piece is to cover up the pin because you don't want to break your pin, the end of your pin. And then we just line it up and add our little piece, close it up. And you can shift this usually a little bit if it's not adjusting to exactly the center. And if it's sliding too much, add more cardboard. Or you can also use glue dots, which would also help you with that. So, well, this is our craft for today, you guys. I hope you like it. Isn't it cute? Just thought it turned out so cute. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks you for tuning in. And I hope you guys have an excellent day.